Okay. It appears that I'm live right now. Thank goodness it was working. And so is the little chat box down here. Thank God. So hi. Thank you if you've just come in. Thumbs up if you're here from Facebook. I'm just going to see if my chat works. So I'll just say hi. Hey, everyone. All right. And welcome. Thank you so much. So I'm just clearing out. Hope that you're happy and well wherever you are. Welcome, everyone. It looks great. Awesome. Thank you. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Ashley. I should probably just really quickly link this over on Patreon. So I'll do that while I've got you guys here. We're going to look at my beautiful Dreams of Gaia deck today. So we're just going to have a little bit of fun. Now I'm going to, how can I do that? Oh, here. Copy the link. How about that? Awesome. All right, I can do that while I'm here. That's cool. Hey. All right, so I'm just going to let Patreon know real quick that I'm here. I'm still here, but I can't see you guys. So here we go. All right, I'm just going to let Patreon know because you guys are my patrons and you need to know when I'm going live. All right, so live right now. Okay, and I'll just so thank you for being patient just for a moment. Okay, so interesting energy going on right now. Okay, patrons know. Yoo-hoo! All right, so quick I am at typing. All right, so awesome. All right. Hey, Stella, Ashley, Michelle, Candy, thank you so much for your thumbs up as well. Let's beat this YouTube algorithm stuff. So what we're doing is, thank you very much. I will have more spiritual mental health stuff for you all too. Candy's like, I just got the pay. Well, you're already here, so that's cool. Hey, G. I didn't expect you to jump on, but thank you very much. Hello. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I had a hey Trista, I had a feeling. I was on Facebook just before. So, and I'm like, I better just go on YouTube as well, because sometimes that happens. You miss someone there and you're like, I missed it. Well, now you haven't missed it. Thanks, Candy. I'm glad that it came up real quick. Awesome. What was I going to say? So, yay. All right, I'm going to let you guys come on in, and I'm going to talk to you tomorrow evening. We'll be doing another auction. Okay, so you don't have to be at the auctions. That's cool. If you just want to be here for readings, that's awesome. But we have a lot of fun, even if you're just there watching. You know, the main thing is that I get to be really stupid with my music and dancing, and I really can't help it. And you get to win a lot of things on the wheel. And we always give you guys extra stuff. So we're really, really pleased that you guys enjoy it as much as we do. We're hoping that our next shipment will come in so you can see what we've got. So that'll be awesome. I know. Candy's getting a rainbow aura. Well, we're just, hopefully our shipment will arrive tomorrow afternoon before we go live, because I have just that for you, Candy. Bigger ones. So there we go. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. They're like, I'll have to hold them in my hands like this. So we'll have lots of points, okay? Hello, hello, hello. The Moldavite, my supplier has been out of it, but I'm going to keep searching because, yeah, I want to get some Moldavite as well. We have Lemurians. We have Lemurian crystals that I can make you into a pendant. My husband has got one on now. He just loves it. And yeah, we've got lots of chunky stuff coming. So I'm also making rings and things, but I am waiting on my sterling silver 16 gauge wire because it has to be nice and thick wire for a ring so it doesn't just bend out of shape, right? Can't wait. Yeah, Bobby's is awesome. So we're going to use the Dreams of Gaia. This is the most different type of tarot. It's very interesting. I use this particular tarot when I'm doing your soul strand readings. Okay, so I only use these for soul strand readings. So we may get some information about who you are as a soul while we're using these cards today. So as always, and I know I've just done readings in the last one, it's like everything's happening, but let's see what happens here. I'm going to shuffle these cards now. Yep. I'm also getting some candy. I just wanted to tell you because I know that you know. But I'm also getting some bright red. I mean red like magenta red. Lemurians. It'll be awesome. Hey, Patty. So it's all happening. I also want to tell you that if you're coming in, some of you already heard me tell you this, but I'm going to be teaching 5 days, lectures for 5 days, 2 hours at a time on different angels, activations, attunements, learning about these angels that you probably never heard of, and bring them into your life. And you'll be able to purchase a ticket and then join a private Facebook group to wait for the lecture every day, and I'll be live doing it with you, and you'll be like in a classroom setting. So it'll be cool. It'll be just like live, but no one else is going to see it unless they have a ticket. So really looking forward to that, and I'll let you guys all know when I know all the details. And I'll probably send out a newsletter coming up in the next couple of weeks for you to get yourself organized for that. Going to make it like so cheap, like $55 for the 5 days of classes. Okay. So I can get people to actually listen and spread the word a little bit more. So I can't wait as well. Yeah, I can't wait to do that. So we will have, won't just be one webinar, it'll be 5 in a row for the price of one. Actually, not even the price of one, for probably half price for the price of one. So awesome. Yep. We're also probably going to offer something coming up soon. Another tier for patrons to get themselves a shipment of crystals each month as well. So we're going to be working on a few things to make it easier for you all also. Yeah, cannot wait. So that'll be separate to my different other courses that I'm offering. To be something where if you've never done a course with me before, that you'll be able to do it very, very inexpensively. And we're going to have so much fun for those days. Hey, Kyla. Yeah, me too. And yeah, a monthly subscription box is coming up. So we'll send out a different box every month. And perhaps it will be attached to Patreon. So you won't get any further discounts on the box or anything, but you'll be able to have 20% discounts on anything else and a box every month as well. So we're working on it, okay? And pretty soon here we'll let you know so that you can stock up. Awesome. All right. So if you're just coming in, choose number 1 or number 2. And I will be able to do these dreams cards for us. I'm just going to move my camera in a bit more so I'm not shouting. Excellent. Yes, high vibration tools. Beautiful crystals, and you'll get, each month will have a different theme, okay? So it'll be separate from what other people see also. And they all go together with our spiritual work. We need things that assist us on our journey, right? So it's going to be awesome. Okay, Kat, hey, so all of you who ordered this week, your stuff is on the way to you as we speak. And tomorrow we will be having another one too. So, yeah. All right. So, okay, I'm just going to close my eyes for a moment to tune in with these cards. Okay. So these cards are going to tell us what we need to know as a soul, okay? So choose number 1 or 2. Now think carefully. Which one? Maybe you need to choose a different one this time, you know? Hey, Renee. Maybe you need to focus on a different number, perhaps. I know my husband's focusing on when's dinner time. We have like a window where we eat within a certain window. So you kind of get hungry, like you kind of like, okay, I know I've got to eat at a certain time, and you sort of get hungry for it. So we're sort of on that window. But we're going to do this. I can really feel there's a difference of energy between Facebook and YouTube. It's like, it really is. It's like completely different. Yeah, we're having super vegan nachos. We love them. It's like having a big bowl of like salad and nachos and beans, and you know, we even have like the vegan cheesy stuff on top of it, and guacamole that I make, and yeah. So there's a difference between the energy on Facebook and YouTube for sure. Did you just get a notice? Wow, Candy. Always different number, always the right one. That's so cool. Thank you. Now, what we're going to focus on is what you need to know as a soul, right? What do you need to know as a soul? This reading, I can't help it, but it may tune in to the stranding of who you are as a soul, because I use these as my soul strand reading cards. So it may pull back into past lives a little bit and show you why you do what you do. Okay? Could be cool. So we'll see. Awesome. All right. So just going to burn a little bit of sage. And I have this is my big Lemurian crystal. Check it out. You can see mountains in there. See them? Whoa! People down the bottom and energy. Yeah, this one's got heaps of stuff going on in it. It's awesome. Hey, Crystal. And sometimes if I actually work with 2, and it's like, and I've got the one around my neck, and I'm like, whoa. Yeah, so at the end, I'll take a few questions as well. Okay, that'd be awesome. I know. Went to light incense and found it was a sparkler. Oh, no. Well, hopefully after the messages today, you will enjoy. Let me just get this going here. Next time we go to Walmart, we'll have to get a sound bar. That's the sort of stuff I would do. Oh my God. Okay, number 1. All right. We're going to look at, this will tell us a little bit about ourselves, our journey, where we're headed, what we're doing. I'm actually going to get 5 cards ready for, or 4 cards. That's what I need. Awesome, Stone. All right, let me see if I can. So my chat's nice and big right now. So let me just see if I can. Oh, no, that zooms me down. Wait a second. There we go. Okay. All right. All right. So we're getting some cool music in the background as well. So number 1, I've got your cards. Okay. So don't forget to thumbs up. That's always helpful if you're in here. It'd be nice if you liked it. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Getting ready to go. Okay. All right, so this all has to be done in a certain way. These are my special cards. They only come out for one particular reading. But today we're going to have a little bit of a sneak peek. All right, so what I've got is black sage. And that's what called to me, so I'm just trying to get this lit. This one's really hard to light. Okay. This is what the black sage looks like. Mugwort. Got mugwort in it as well. And I always end up making holes in all my shirts. Okay, so let me see. All right, get this going. Thank you so much. We're okay, everyone. Okay, so we got the black sage finally going. It smells very different to regular sage, of course, or blue sage even. Okay, let's go. All right, so we're ready to go now. So just, all right. Now, what happens is that I can't see your chat right now, okay? So I'm just going to leave it off and catch up with you guys at the end, and we will take a few questions at the end. But maybe, just maybe, if you put it out there, your question is going to be answered. Your question is will get answered with the messages. Oh, okay. Candy's going? Okay. All right. So that came up anyway when I thought I couldn't see you guys anymore. All right. So here we go. Candy's going. You can always watch it later. All right. So here we go. Now, number 1, focusing on you, then number 2, and I'll go back and forth like that. All right. And we'll see. We'll see what comes up. and I'll explain as we go along. Okay, so see if that's any better. All right. Explain as I go along. Okay, number 1. All right, your first card is the 9 of Coins. See how different these cards are going to be, really different, okay? So we'll see what's on there. All right, so it actually shows it quite well, which is good. So number 1, the 9 of Coins. I can tell you right now, if you are number 1, you are a giver. You're somebody who finds it hard to receive information, receive from others. And you're always giving things to, and always trying to help, and always trying to tune in. Number 1, the message here for you is a couple of things going on. The first one is that there is something that is coming forward into your life that is going to bring great changes for you, okay? It's coming forward, and it's going to bring great changes, but you're going to have to be willing to accept it, because part of you won't accept this energy. It feels to me, as I'm looking at this card, that as part of who you are as a soul is to learn to be able to receive from the universe, from others, because you were always in a place where you were perhaps confined, or that you had to live like all together, you know, in a situation of some kind, and it was like a community or whatever. And so you've had to live where everybody else is, you know, comes first, where everybody else, you know, has to be put in, whoops, sorry guys, held accountable for things, right? Just a second. For some reason my music got really here we go. I'll just go back to some easy music. Okay.
Customize your car insurance Liberty Mutual, so you only pay for what you need.
Right. So for number 1, it's like for whatever reason in your lifetime, you know, in past lives, everything was shared. It may be in this life where you are born into this life with a sense of responsibility, and it's hard for you to be able to take rewards of any kind, right? The other energy that I'm sort of seeing here is that, as you can see, the third eye is open in this situation, but the person's eyes are kind of like flatter. So what I'm sort of getting from this particular card right now is that you are really trying hard to see the future, to see what's coming, so that you can be prepared. All right. And this is creating an anxiety that you don't need to have right now or ever, right, in your life. Is that you really feel like you need to know in one way or another what's coming up, and it's not going to work. So the first part is allow yourself to receive. You can, all right, that you're healing from past trauma where you weren't able to have things, that, you know, everything revolved around everybody else, that you're not responsible for everybody else's happiness, although that's how you felt. You actually feel better when other people are happy, right? So your lesson or part of your soul journey is to allow yourself to receive, okay, is to allow yourself you allow yourself to walk forward, trusting that you're going to be okay, not having to know what's coming up, because that's what's draining you, is having to know what's coming up, feeling afraid of choices or afraid of what might take place, etc. So now is the time where you focus on this allowing. Now you're going to receive some things. Now, maybe you were watching on my Facebook post, but there was sort of like a feeling or a connection of this card coming ahead, like of some sort of gift coming towards you that you're not expecting. And you need to be open to receiving. because it may be a lot. All right. So for some of you, you may be getting an awful lot of abundance, and it may be hard to believe, but it's coming in. So don't deter it by having to know every step of the way. Okay. So that's the first card for number 1. Okay. So welcome to people who are coming in. I can't really see your message right now. All right. Number 2, this is part of your soul journey, who you are as a soul and who you have been. So we're looking at this right now. Number 2. Okay, so you have the energy of the 2 of fire. So number 2, what this means for you is that you're entering into a period into your life where there's going to be a partnership that's important. Now, this partnership can be a creative partnership. It can be a business partnership. It can be a romantic partnership. It can be a lifelong partnership that has nothing to do with any of that, right? But this is also calling forth a new way of being within yourself. Because the past situation with this particular card is that there's been letdowns whenever you've encountered a relationship of some kind, right? We've already said whether it's business or, creative partnerships or even romantic partnerships, you've been let down. And number 2, the one thing that you do is you try to change yourself to fit into a situation. You mold yourself to that situation so that you're not really creating any waves, right? But this can only last for so long. And for number 2, it shows that you're feeling or have been feeling resentful of, feeling resentful of having to mold or to fit a certain situation, right? And it annoys you that you decided to change yourself, and then you get annoyed that you've changed yourself and they still don't do, it's still a big problem, right? So what this particular card for you, number 2, is that you have to be who you are and trust that you're going to be accepted in that way. Part of your soul journey is to be very authentic, whether it's that you like hip hop music or heavy metal, or whether it is that you like to eat cake or not, that you're not changing parts of yourself to fit so that someone won't get upset, or someone, to appease other people, in other words, because you're moving into a relationship, a business partnership, a creative partnership, or a work partnership of some kind, or even a relationship, and you must start how you mean to finish. The next part of the learning the lesson from your soul journey is to be yourself at all costs, whether somebody likes it or not. Doesn't mean that you be a jerk and expect people to like that. Of course, we work on our, personal self, etc. But we need to learn to understand that we don't have to do things that we don't want to do in order to feel accepted. It's you either are or it's not the right person for you, right? It's not like I've got to change all these things and then we're going to be 100% correct. A lot of the times what ends up happening is that we feel sorry or we have empathy for somebody, and we can see a potential for their greatness, I guess. We see this potential and we want to bring it out in them. And sometimes what happens is that we give up our entire self to make that happen, but they don't appreciate it because it's not something that's been earned by them, right? It's not something that they've earned themselves. It's not something that they've worked on themselves. It's like you've done all the work to lift this person up, and then you're exhausted and also extremely hurt that you're not even noticed at the end of it. So as this situation comes forward for you now, you must remember the mistakes that you've made in the past through being too kind, through throwing yourself to the wayside while someone else advances, through trying to help them heal because you see the potential that they don't see, for trying to make it happen for somebody when in reality they have got to make it work for themselves. It's a lesson for you. These are all about soul lessons and soul journey today. So as you embark the next part of your life, make it exactly how you want it to be, or else you move on. Okay? And when you forget about yourself, you become extremely saddened because you're looking for somebody to notice you. And all that you've ever really needed is for you to notice yourself. And that's the secret to other people noticing you. Okay? All right, so we'll keep on going. Back to number 1. Second part of who you are, number 1. Okay, so you have it's actually the 4 of water. So we have a look at this card. All right, so number 1. Part of who you are as a soul is connected to all of the elements. So earth, air, fire, water, and there's spirit as well, and planetary energy. And it can go on a little bit more than just 4 or 5 elements, right? One of the elements that you have, number 1, is connected to water. This is your emotion, okay, as we know by now. And what's happened to you, number 1, is before you came into this life, you have a deep love for humanity. You have a deep love for people in themselves. You almost angelic, where you just have this, like, I just feel compassionate to people, and, you know, I want them to grow and change and lift, and I know I can do it, and send me in there and give me a really hard life, and I'm going to show compassion. So number 1, what ended up happening is that in many, many past lives, your energy of love, which is beautiful, was very unbalanced, because you felt that if you showed people really goodness and you showed them amazing healing and you showed them understanding, that they would appreciate it. All right. And, you know, many people have appreciated it in your life, but you have judged your worth. You have judged who you are based on the reactions of other people's affection for you. If people like you or not, if you fit in, if you're loved by a partner or not, if they've left you for somebody else, or whatever's happened, you never moved on, right? You are deeply crushed in this energy because you just wanted love. You just want people to have fun. You just want people to have a good life. But you were missing, again, this is about missing the ingredient of giving that love, compassion, and affection to yourself. You become bored and complacent when you feel like you're not understood. And this has happened throughout many lifetimes, where, you know, the energy of who you are is been taken the wrong way and has been misunderstood, like I said. And it hurts you deeply when people misunderstand you, or when people believe you're saying something in one way when really you're not. They think the worst of you sometimes, and you're like, how could you feel that way? Where's that coming from? Because you expect others to treat you how you've been treated, how you treat them. Unfortunately, it doesn't always happen that way. You know, some people will take advantage of someone's kindness, especially your own, number 1. So what your focus is right now is that you're learning to understand that there needs to be a balance, right, between yourself, about what you're doing, about who you're responsible for, or whatever that is. and that you have to find that balance and understanding. And you have to understand that as a soul, you have many aspects of who you are, and they're all very, very dimensional as well. So they're not just one thing. So, for example, water, that's not just emotion, but there's a depth of energy in there. And also that as you stop trying to see too far ahead into the future, or as you stop trying to lift everybody else up, that you will have what you need. You will get what you need. You will feel that fulfillment, right? And your energy is just wanting everybody else to be balanced as well. But it becomes lopsided, where you're last, and that can't happen. Not in balanced reality as well. So for number one, allow things to begin to happen for you, as we said already. Balance your emotions, okay, by giving some compassion back to yourself, and, you know, sitting with yourself and understanding yourself, and knowing that you can send love to whoever you want to send love to, right? But it's up to them what they do with it. It's not up to you. It's not up to you to force anything, really. Okay? Send love, let it go, and let it go where it needs to go. And let the other person or the energy or whatever it is take care of itself. It's not your job. What happens afterwards, okay? Interesting. All right, number two, back to you again. See, look at the color changing here. It's weird. All right. Aha. Okay. So number two, you know, the first thing is about relationships, okay, and what it's going to be. And this card is very interesting. So have a look at this. We have the perfect balance of negative and positive, or dark and light. Okay, you have your chakras all moving correctly, etc. And you have this sacred language over here. So for number two, there has been a battle with you for many lifetimes, because as I've said to you guys before, we're not always who we are now, right? We've had to experience negative things. We've been in this negative energy as well. We may have been thinking that we were doing the right thing when really we were sending out a lot of negative energy. Now, this does not mean that you're cursed now, because I really hate that. Or I hate the way that people, you know, live their life around, oh, I just must be so bad in a past life if this is happening to me now. No, these are all about the choices that you make now. But in past lives, you know, we don't have the knowledge that we have right in this life, right now, or this second. We don't have the understanding back then as we do as we transition. And we may have done some things that are considered darker. It doesn't mean that we're a dark soul or we're a bad person. It just means that that's what we thought was right at the time. Now, as you move forward in this journey, there will be temptations, okay? The temptations that are there when things are going really bad, okay? When there's a crisis, when there's an upset in your life, number two, part of you feels really, really angry, and you want to get revenge somehow, right? You want to make things right. You just want to go and perhaps punch someone straight in the nose, right? Now, we can stand our ground or fight if, you know, we're threatened. But sometimes we're just, you know, and maybe this is happening to you, where you just feel like, God, you know, I'm so sick of it. I want something to shift. I want something to end. I want, you know, I just want to finish whatever problem it is that I'm going through, whatever. So this energy here is telling you to be careful, okay? Just to be careful that you're not tempted to lower your standards, because in the past you may have, and in this life we all have, right? Been in fights, argued with people, said things in the wrong way, you know, done some whatever stuff we've done that we feel guilty about or whatever. But in this instance, it's asking you understand the signs when, you know, you're feeling out of balance. Notice the signs. Usually a week before you have a reaction, you're feeling some kind of trigger. And the idea is to make sure that you're noticing what it is that sets you off, whether it's what someone says, whether it's something that you're watching, whether it's something that you're frustrated with or whatever. Okay? And if you can balance that out as well and just understand some things with compassion, then you switch out of the lesson stage of your life and you move into the blessing stage of your life. This is what I've been telling a lot of people. Well, I try to show you this, you know, is that while you're still struggling with something, you're still in a lesson phase of your life because you're not actually being honest with yourself about a situation one way or another. It doesn't matter what that situation is, and you all know it deep down if that's what you're doing. And, you know, when you start changing your response to things, moving into the next direction, moving into a new direction, you don't experience that same thing ever again. It doesn't come up because you can be aware of it much quicker as well. So for number 2, you're about to change into this, you know, partnership energy, whatever that is for you. All right. But remember that there are always things that are there to test us in one way or another. How you respond is going to be the determination of whether something continues to be a lesson for you or you move into the blessings because you've passed that test kind of thing. All right. Remember that we only ever really punish ourselves. Other people punish us and we punish ourselves. Spirit doesn't punish us and say to us, well, you know, in 1984, you did that. You stuck your finger up at the preacher or something, you know. Well, whatever it was, like God's looking at you and going, right, that was really bad. Okay, we're gonna give him something. We're gonna punish him somewhere along the line. It just doesn't work like that. We do it to ourselves, right? So you've got to balance your energies here. All right. Can't be a habit. If you want a new life, you can't keep it. You can't keep something that you're doing and think that you're going to be able to move forward with and not change that. We have to evaluate our whole life and see the patterns that we have made, where we've let ourselves down or where we've punished ourselves, whatever, and stop it so we can ascend to the next levels, you know? All right. Number 1, back to you. Aha, more water. Okay. So this is talking about the 9 of water. Okay. So this is talking about a joyous occasion, an emotion that is going to be overwhelming because something has finally come forward in your life. This is for number 1. Something is finally settling. And let me tell you, because this is water, it tells me that you have a lot of energy of healing and compassion but you're last, okay? So your lesson is to put yourself first, and it's going to be extremely hard for you to do it, but you can do it, right? So that's your one of your biggest lessons. So something is coming that you have manifested into your life, number 1. And you're going to be overwhelmed when you receive this because you're like, is this for me? Is this coming in for me? Like, I don't deserve this. Why is this coming to me now? If your first words are, I don't deserve it, then that's somewhere along the line you felt that you're not good enough somewhere along the line. Or someone's made you feel that way, given you that crappy line your whole life. You can do better. You can do more. You need to be the best. Somewhere along the line, you feel like you've failed and that you're going to be rejected because you failed. And time and time again, perhaps you've seen that rejection, coming at you, right? So you've settled for less than you deserve. And here comes this energy of something wonderful happening to you. And your first thought is, why me? Why am I good enough for that? Instead of being, oh my God, I'm so grateful right now. This is amazing, right? Part of you is like, I feel uncomfortable that someone's giving something to me. What do they want from me? What am I going to have to do now that I've got this manifestation? So part of your lesson, number one, is to understand that you are worth the best, that you are worthy of the best. Now, you may not have given yourself the best or thought that way. That doesn't mean you're not worthy of it, right? So you may not have felt something. That doesn't mean anything. That's just how you've trained yourself to survive in one way or another, right? And I'm telling you now, something is raining down on you that you're going to be so shocked. It's a wonderful energy. It's going to make you feel happy. It's going to make you feel probably the happiest you've been in a long, long time. And it's coming in very, very soon. And it's also a little bit of a test. We all have our spiritual tests. And this one is, how are you going to respond when the universe delivers? What are you going to do? Because if you reject it in a way by saying, well, I don't know where this has come from, and I don't want to draw attention to myself, and I don't really think I deserve it, then you're still going to stay in this cycle, and you'll probably lose that gift. Okay? You've manifested something in because you deserve it. All right? So accept it with grace and gratitude as a way of helping other people, giving and paying it forward in whatever way you need to, but knowing and being proven that you are worthy of it from the divine. The divine is showing you your worthiness. Don't laugh at it. Just be grateful for it as it comes forward, right? And be compassionate for yourself, and know that the more that you have, okay, the more that you have, the more that you can help others. That's the way that I have to see it for myself too. One day I'm going to be at a point where there is no money involved in anything. All teachings are free teachings. So I don't have to worry about bills and paying the rent and all that sort of stuff like everybody else does. This is my job, and as well as my life, right? But one day it's going to be marvelous for all of us where money's not even a problem or an issue or even around, right? But you have to accept what's coming in. Let it come in, all right, with open arms. And it'll make a big change in your life, number one. All right, back to number two. Aha. So remember, you've had quite a lot of different energy here. And this one is more of a shamanic kind of an energy if you look at this, all right? So the card is the 7 of earth, okay? And in this one, it's showing the shaman here. It's very, very connected with the earth. All of his chakras are quite good by the looks of it. He has the snake energy of the Kundalini around. He's not really noticing any danger or any harm. He's connected with nature in every way, and he's very fruitful. So the energy for number 2 is the fact that when you feel, what's the word? It's like you feel sometimes that all of your efforts are in vain. Like, you try really hard. You try to manifest, or you try to do your spiritual work, or you try to connect with your angels, or you try to save up for a house, or you try to be good in a relationship, or you try to, your best to achieve, and you try, and you don't feel like you ever get anywhere, like you're constantly second best, or you're constantly going up the ladder and then you're slipping down at the bottom, and you're going up and you slip down, right? So you may feel this way, and this comes from an expectation of, things going wrong. So again, like we were saying, you have this expectation that no matter what you're going to do in your life, there'll be a shoe that's going to drop somewhere, and knock you back to the beginning. And because you have this in the back of your mind, that's what you continue to see as well. This card is showing you your shamanic abilities, your healing capabilities, your connection to all that is, right? Which shows that there are no losers, right? There is nobody less than anybody else. There's nobody that's being punished more than anybody else, right? Unless, of course, we're doing it to ourselves, which is basically what you're doing a little bit. You have this potential to do anything that you want. But because your mind is sort of set on the fact that it doesn't matter how far along you get, you're going to get pushed down to the beginning again. Your mind's sort of set in that way on one level or another, or in one level or another. So you're not seeing that you're already setting amazing roots for this tree to grow, that there are fruits of your labor, available, like around you, that you are getting somewhere, right? It's only when you have that doubt in your mind that things start crashing down again, right? So it's only when you get yourself to that worrisome point somewhere along the line and you sabotage yourself. Or you've probably sabotaged yourself in relationships before, or you've given up way too soon, before the miracle occurs. You might just give up and go in another direction or whatever. So this is telling you that your energy is extremely powerful, and you should know that by the way that things go wrong, because you think they will, right? You're manifesting it. So it's time to manifest something the way that you want it to be. My God, my whole life changed when I started. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I sat on the toilet one day having an epiphany. I'm like, this is not even my anxiety. This is not even mine. This is somebody else. Oh my God, I've been absorbing all these people's anxiety. I'm going to demand that to be gone. Oh my God, if I just think the way that I want to be, it starts coming. Why? How do I know that? Because when I think what I don't want, that starts coming too. So thought is thought, decree is decree. It doesn't matter what it is, all right? It's going to activate something in the universe. You have to, it's part of the journey is learning how to work it for yourself, to make sense of it, right? To make it work for you. And it dawns on you. You're like, oh my God, I get this. I just have to do this. And this is going to happen for me, instead of being afraid to try anything because it may not work, or being afraid because one time before you didn't get the answer you wanted, or trying to talk to the angels and you don't think you ever get a response, even though things go bang, or the light goes like this, or something will go and happen outside, or you'll see a shooting star, but that wasn't from the angels. But it was, because you asked for a sign and you got about 1,000 of them, right? So recognizing the innate abilities that each and every one of you who are listening have, and we've got to harness them. We've got to accept them. That's our lessons as a soul, is accepting who we really are on every level. It doesn't matter what we've done 10 years ago, 5 minutes ago. It doesn't matter. It's what we do from now on that matters, right? And that you can be in control of your future, and that things are shaping up better for you, and that you don't have to cater to everybody else's needs. And who cares whether the whole world likes you or not, You know, that's a big one, is what other people are going to think. Who cares, right? You have to stand your ground and hold your boundary, or you're going to get walked all over. You know, if you don't say, no, I need to do this, or this is when I'm doing this, or this is when I'm available, you're going to get walked all over by people who think they can because you're so nice. So remember who you are. You're a powerful shaman. Shaman can move between the dimensions, and there are many different types of shamans. You'll learn how to harness that power and work with it, but you won't be able to do it as well if you don't give yourself any credit for what you've already done. If you're expecting the worst, you've got to be very strong in your shamanic work or in your spiritual work or whatever. You got to just be strong in who you are, or else you'll never get anything completed. And then you'll hate yourself for that. And that is not a cycle that you want to be in or continue to be in. So know who you really are. An ancient, powerful being of light, right? Using your abilities to help other people, but most importantly, to help yourself. All right? And we have one more part to each of you, right? From this reading. Now you can see how this can be a fascinating soul strand reading, which I offer. We do 8 parts of the soul. It's fascinating because it's all in different dimensions as well. Okay, so the last one from number 1, you're going to like this one. It's interesting. So let me have a mouthful of my drink. Okay. So number 1, this is like your last card in this little section of cards, okay? Now, what this means, so this is the 5 of air, okay, in this particular instance. So what this means is so interesting, okay? You can see the person there, like they've got the wings, they've got the feathers, they've got the blindfold, right? And they've got this mask or this face at their chest. Now, what this is showing you, number 1, is that in many, many lifetimes for you, you have had to be a chameleon. You've had to pretend to be a certain way. So, for example, you wouldn't want to go telling anybody many, many years ago, hundreds of years ago, whatever, you wouldn't want to go tell anybody that you talk to angels or that you have vivid dreams that are prophetic, or that you work with herbs, or you light candles, or you say enchantments or anything, because you're going to be killed. Okay? It's just the way that it is. You can't have it. So you've hidden yourself in past lives. You pretended to fit in. In this lifetime, it's been a little bit of a fear getting to know yourself spiritually. You may have also had to wear many different masks in this life to fit in, to not get in trouble, to not stand out, to not be embarrassed, to not have people call out on you in a classroom or something, right? Or to be a parent, or to go to the school, or to, mix with people. You may have had to be wearing some kind of different role because you don't want people to think a certain way of you, okay? The real you is always there anyway. And there comes a point where the mask that you've taken off and put another one on for however long or whatever I can't let my parents know. That was a big thing for me. I could not let my dad know that I was looking at cards because divination was apparently an abomination. You can't do it. You can't look at cards. You can't be psychic. You can't be a healer because you're all doing stuff with the devil. It's all evil. Until I eventually understood that the ones that are talking about the devil all the time, may actually be the ones that are afflicted by him, because I don't talk about anything other than the light. There's negative energy around, of course, but all I heard from my dad and family members was how bad I was and how I needed to repent and I needed to change and that I was a sinner and that the devil was around all the time. I'm just like, I don't even think about the devil, but you do, you know. But I concealed everything for a long, long time. Then when I finally let it all out of the bag, it wasn't even as bad as I thought anyway, because at that point I really didn't care and I was old enough to make my own decisions. So for number one, you know, you have a lot of abilities going on, but you're suppressing them, right? Because of naughtiness in past lives where you're going to get strung up or something. And even that fear of your spiritual journey is here now because people judge, you know. Like I was just doing a Facebook thing, but I was also streaming on my Crystal Store channel as well. And the thought came across me like they're going to think I'm really, really strange doing these readings that might not be their thing, right? And here I am, blah, 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 just being myself. And then I thought, well, who cares? You know, it's good advice. You know, you take it or you leave it kind of thing. So the fear comes up inside of you of what other people will think. And you've also changed the way that you do things to accommodate other people. And this is telling you that the time has come for that energy of a falseness, because you feel it inside of yourself when you can't be free to be yourself. You feel false, whether it's being spiritual or your connection with a partner. It might be the same sex or something like that, or whatever it is for you. There may be this shame inside that you can't shift, right? But this is telling you that if you don't shift it and accept it and move away from it and be who you are, if you don't do that, then you will struggle. You will continue to struggle. You must remember how supported that you are every step of the way, though, as well. And that you have the angels within you. We have the angelic seed. The angelic seed is given to us as we incarnate. And it opens. So the angelic seed opens when we begin to awaken. So we have the angels working within us and around us, right? We have the angelic seed. We have incarnation discs that are filled keys and unfilled keys. And the filled keys are like predestined things that we're going to do. And the unfilled keys are the things that are, you know, we haven't predestined yet to do. It's like the things that we're choosing to do. And your angels will help you with that as well. So there's just something, maybe it's just one thing for you, number one, that just needs to shift into a pretend energy that used to have to be there to who you are now kind of thing. And it'll be a breakthrough for you as a soul to be able to move forward in your life, right? And the final card for, oh, this is so cute. What you doing? The final card for number 2 is another fiery energy. And look at this. You have the Queen of Fire. Okay. So for number 2, this is part of who you are as a soul. It's also usually connected to fire signs. Queen of Wands being the Queen of Fire. And Queen of Wands can be a Sagittarius or Aries or Leo person. But in this instance, it talks about who you are as a soul. So this shows your sovereignty. This shows that perhaps in many lifetimes you have been what they consider to be a queen or a king or someone in power, okay? And the one thing that may frustrate you, number 2, is that other people don't realize that, right? So, for example, you could have been a queen or something in a past life. People come to you for advice. The next move, what are we going to do? And they would trust whatever it was that you're going to say is to be the right thing to do and go ahead and do it, right? In this life, it's like you have ideas and you have thoughts and you have feelings and you try to express them and people just disregard them. It's very confusing. Someone who's been in control or someone who's been a leader for many lifetimes. And then in this lifetime, it's like you feel like you're an annoyance or something, right? The energy here is for number 2 is that sovereign energy doesn't go anywhere, that you are a sovereign being of light, and that you have the ability to lead people, but in a different way this time. So the way in which you would think that you should do that may be different, okay? And the energy inside of you is compassionate and strong and fiery and, capable. But if you've had all of these knockbacks in your life, which is obvious, okay, we've all had knockbacks in our life, obvious. And if that continues to happen, then you may never come out and be the leader that you really are. And that's a shame, Part of my job here on this planet is to help you to help yourself. That was my biggest goal. Help you help yourself. And that means everything. That means that you've got to take on who you really are. You've got to embrace your fears. You've got to clear the past. You've got to create a whole new future for yourself. And if I'm the example of it, great, because I've been there, the bottom of the barrel, let's just say, right? So if I can do it, and this is what I thought to myself, if I can do it, anybody can do this. And you have this sovereign energy, whoever's listening for number 2, you've led many, many thousands of people, over many different lifetimes. You've always gone into this leadership role. But you wanted to do things in a different way this time, right? You wanted to do things balanced and fair and kindly, all right? So whether someone hears you right now or not doesn't really matter. What's going to matter is in the big scheme of things, how you feel about yourself, the words, how you lead yourself, the words that you use to describe yourself. Do you think if we were talking about a lion or something and they were the king of the jungle, right? Do you really think that they're going to think, oh, geez, I don't know how my hair's just not right today. Like, what are people going to think? The lion's just going to go ahead and do whatever the hell it wants to do. And everybody knows, okay, I'm getting out of his way because he always commands a presence, like straight away. The same thing here for you is that you will command a presence if you actually believe in that yourself, for yourself, believe in who you are, and let go of whatever programming you've had from people who could see your potential even if you don't, right? They knew who you were going to be. The only way they can cut you down is emotionally, and we let it happen, right? So try not to let this happen anymore. And you will embrace yourself into a new set of circumstances that are so much more who you are, so much more on your wavelength. People will come forward that connect with you. You have to let go of some of these old ones that just hanging on, take, let it all go and connect with those that are going up where you're going. And be with partners who are growing with you, not like they can't be bothered doing something, and you're not going to change that unless they want to change that. So they have to be willing to grow with you, both of you doing it together. How cool. It's the only way it really works. And understand you don't need someone else to tell you that you're a sovereign being. You don't need someone else to know what you can do. You don't need to be the best in other people's eyes. You just got to be yourself, and all that just comes right within itself. It just all comes. So, I mean, this is just a little hint, okay, at some of the different things or different parts of who you are, etc., and who you can be and what you can do, and all that sort of stuff, and how things have hindered you and stuff. And these are things that a lot of people have come forward for quantum healing hypnosis therapy with me. I actually call it past life therapy techniques now. I've done my study with Dolores Cannon. I was there before she died. I was with her before she died, like in the classroom, and but I've had to develop new ways of doing things that work for those people who are on the phone with me, because we're not in person. And we really discover what matters and really what doesn't matter anymore, and also healing and messages that you can get for the future from it. And these are just parts of who you are as a soul. It's just, to me, it just comes really easy for me to do these readings like that. It really changes things. So for all of you listening, I hope that, I can't really see your comments or anything, but I hope that it kind of made sense so that you can move forward now. And it looks to me like there's big things coming. It doesn't matter whether you chose number 1 or number 2. It's just whether you believe that big things are coming. It's whether you believe that you deserve it. It's whether you believe in the positive rather than waiting for the shoe to drop and something to go wrong. Things are going to go wrong in life. No matter what you do, no matter how great you are, there's going to be a problem somewhere. It doesn't mean it's your fault. It's just a problem, right? We have to take ourselves out of the whole thing for a little bit as well. And, see ourselves, just give it to ourselves. Don't expect others to give it to you. Sometimes I don't understand how some people think. They may like some kind of, psychic reader or something like that. And I'm thinking, what? Okay. But it's like, I don't understand how people think, but I don't need to, I've just got to keep going, and eventually, more and more and more people will start to switch on. And that's the greatest thing, So what I'm going to do right now, first I'll tell you, that I'm offering like a 5-day course, which is going to be like $55. It's going to be so cheap. It'll be a private thing on Facebook. So if you're interested in that, please email me about it so I can keep you in a list. I won't be doing it till probably the end of June. Second thing is that Saturday we'll be here live for our auction. If you don't want to be there, that's cool. But if you do, we've got tons of stuff to show you and lots of fun to have, which is amazing. But right now, actually, I'm going to try to make this bigger. See if I can see some questions. All right, let me just see. Michelle Durst said, I used to watch you when I first awakened. You saved me. Oh, thank you. That's so kind. I think you might have saved yourself. But I'm glad that I was sort of helped you to do that. That's fantastic. The types of dimensionals. Yep. Right. It is good to see people say you can't change what you're not aware of or whatever, and don't worry about the past and stuff. Sometimes it's extremely important to understand why you're making the decisions that you're making now. When I look at past lives, I'm not looking at it for anything other than to gain a perspective on an emotion that I might feel right now. And it really, really is life-changing. And these deeper sessions are life-changing. These are things that you're involved with, etc. So if you don't know about it, you may not understand your trauma, or you may not understand why you do what you do, and that's fine for some people. But that deeper healing like that, and really looking at yourself as a whole being, is extremely powerful as well. All right, let me keep going. Okay. Okay, so Elise just asked, how do I set up a phone session? You just email me about it. There are many different types of sessions on my website. And what you get with the past life session, for example, is we do 3 phone calls. This is all included, okay? Most people will only talk to you one time and that's it. We're going to do 3 phone calls. 2 of those are going to be sessions and one of those is going to be setting up everything. So I know exactly what you want to get out of it. Because I was someone who, you know, was studying the quantum healing hypnosis therapy myself. And I'm like, what? So, you know, you only get one session and you've got to get it all completely right in that one time. I thought people can't do that. They're too nervous. So you get 3 sessions with me, right? So many of you have had it. And that's how I set it up differently. I didn't want anyone to feel under pressure the first time they speak to me to get it all correct, you know? We'll build a relationship. You've got to be able to trust me to get you through it as well. It's very different. It's not hypnosis where you don't know what you're doing. You're going to be quite aware of everything that's going on, but having the most amazing experiences as well. So awesome. So yeah. So let me see. So if you want to talk to me on the phone about something, you just email me first, because I'm usually, you know, at this point, I'm booked out for this week, but you can book out for the following week. Thanks, Lily. Sure. All right, Whitney. Yeah, so everybody has their own specific trauma or energy. You may just need a clearing. That's also a very good thing to help to get started with. And I usually start your sessions, let's just do a clearing. Let's get rid of anything hanging on energetically, and then we can get into other stuff as well. Yeah. Sky, I have really explained it quite a few times, but I mean, I can do it again as well, how the past life stuff works, because there's a lot of people who are younger. So when I say younger, you might be in your 20s or going from a teen to 20s into 30s, and you find it difficult to relate to past lives. I found that happens quite a bit, where you just find it a little bit scary or something. I can tell you right now that 90% of people's problems have to do with the past life stuff. 10% has to do with the life that you're living now. So that 90% is worth exploring, right? And doing. And, you know, you end up understanding on the most deepest level that you can imagine yourself. And not only that, but you go into a healing chamber. Well, this is where I take you into a healing chamber, and all the angels and guides and everybody is there, and they work on you while we're talking, and you're going to feel stuff shifting out of your body. It's the most amazing thing, you know? So, yeah. Right. So there you go. So eventually I want to teach my own method of hypnosis therapy, and calling it past life therapy. And it's an easy way to get like 100% accuracy with it, you know, and it's fantastic. So yeah, Dana's had quite a few amazing experiences, and we've gone over so many things. And the thing of it is that sometimes you think you know yourself, and then when you're talking to somebody else, they'll pick up on something that you'll be like, oh my God, I didn't even think of it that way. And that's what's really good about having that connection, you know. If you do trust or whatever with the person that you're talking to, it should be able to pull out of you a lot of stuff that you hadn't thought of. It's something that I feel like I'm pretty good at with myself. But yeah, so a lot of people come to me after the fact. So, for example, they'll spend thousands of dollars with somebody else and tell me about it as well. Oh, I have to spend all this money over here. Now, what can you do? You know, I'm like, great, thanks a lot. You should have come here first and saved yourself. But it's all for a reason, you know. Everything happens for a reason, all of this stuff. And Yeah, some people like, so G was saying here, I never really cared about past lives until I realized how relevant it was to your current lifetime. Yeah, exactly. It's because we want to find those reasons why some of those emotions are there. And also you want to have a really good healing experience and get on your journey without anything holding you back, as well. So we all kind of have to go through that. But if you guys have some questions that you want to ask me while I'm here, I'll be here for probably another 5 minutes or so. Now's your time. If you have something that you want to ask, no worries. No worries. No worries. You worked at store. Because you were laid off, Michelle, because you were what? Yep. Okay, so for Lamb G, I feel like it's like 4 weeks away, a new job. It was definitely a fear, Lisa. Okay. If anyone's curious. Okay, Ashley, no worries. You can do that. Well, there's plenty. Michelle, you could also look up Archangel Michael protection and put BDevine, and you will find a permanent shielding for yourself that you can use. And for anyone that's listening, do that. Get the permanent shield on and then reinforce it whenever you need to. No worries. All right, so feels, Colin, that this sort of stress energy is more a collective of the Schumann resonance, because the Schumann resonance is the energy of the earth, basically, and it's all over the place, as well as what we've just had. So perhaps you're just becoming very sensitive to the energies of earth and the people and the fear that's sort of around. So just try to make sure that you're grounding yourself and pulling yourself in and asking for all the parts and pieces of who you are to come back into your being, and then ask for yourself to be shielded in light. And one thing that you can say is the triple shield of protection, which works very, very instantly. And it's like this very, very strong force field around you, because if you're feeling anxiety or stress that you don't know what it is, it's not you, then it's obviously something that you're picking up from somewhere else. So make sure you're grounding and protecting, disconnecting a little bit as well. Yeah, I just feel, Whitney, that for Whitney's question, that what you're doing, just keeping things quite distant is better. When something is right for you, and this is what I always say, when someone is completely right for you, you won't ever need to question it at all. You won't ask a psychic, in other words, if it's right. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but just remember that in the back of your mind. Like, either or you're doubting it, right? So it feels like you're doubting something here, and you maybe it's just some unresolved things, and maybe you just need to space yourself a little bit more, or pace yourself back a little bit more, so that you can open up, when the timing is right, a little bit better as well. So don't, if your intuition, Gina, is, you're suspecting they're going to fire you when you go out on disability, thinking about postponing to be safe, you could be projecting that as well into the energy. when you're wondering whether your intuition is your intuition or it's just your fear, you must bring yourself into that place of receiving, grounding into the earth and into the universe and protecting yourself, bringing your light team in, then asking, but it's just like, maybe that's a fear that you're projecting, and that way it'll come true. So just be careful with any of that sort of stuff. Awesome. Definitely, Lisa. Yeah, just be careful that you're not putting the that worrisome thought out, because that will become a reality too. We've got to put out what we want to have happen, that you're safe, that you're protected. And even if that happens again, it is part of the journey, etc. And maybe it's not the right place for you if that's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So you can't live in fear of that. You don't want to postpone things either. If you need something done, you need something done as well. All right. Okay, cool. That's good. Excellent. Fantastic. All right. You're welcome. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so check out that video on protecting your energy, making that declaration for permanent shielding with Archangel Michael. It's really, really easy. If you haven't done it, if you have done it, maybe do it again just to reinforce it into your being. We are going to experience a lot of changes in the coming weeks. Okay, I've got some channeling videos that I made with Patreon that I may also share with you guys, and one recording as well, because it's relevant to what's happening right now also. So dance, yeah, they have been anyway, but what's going to happen is that it's going to be created as a fearful thing, and we can't give into that, right? Because they're going to come forward, they're going to be here, they are here, and they're activating within us and around us, and they're coming by the millions, but it's going to be made out that it's a fearful thing when it's not. But we'll talk more about that, because a lot of those questions came up in the channeling session. So I want to thank you guys for being here. Yes, Kat, just quickly about the house. Yes, I feel so, for sure. So, okay. So I wanted to thank you all for being here. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. Saturday for the auction. And if not, that's fine. I'll see you during the week for more readings, fun, and learning. And let me know if you want to be a part of the 5 days webinars, learning about the angels, activations, and attunements in a private session. Okay, let me know about that and make it happen. Okay, lots of love, many thanks, and we may do it. Yeah, my husband said we may do a rumble. Thanks to G Mason for being here, and my husband, of course. And bye, everyone. Lots of love. Yeah. Okay. Bye.